So this is a outdoors boudoir shoot. Just real quick, there is nudity that goes with this, but that's on my Patreon. So if you want to see kind of the things I talk about here, this is kind of like a workshop that we did outdoors. This is private property, so they you can be nude in private property. The problem with that is that there are people that walk through here, and so from time to time we'll have some people walking by, but they'll turn around once we see it. That's why they're covered. But for the most part, all the nude shots, there was nobody around. But I can't show those, obviously. So the last clip will be kind of like one of the tree shots that we did with nude, but I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the flash. I had an 8200 and the Molus. And you just saw a couple of shots right there. One with the Molus x100 outside and the flash. And an interesting thing that I don't have because I've lost it and I just never got another one was I think it's called a 5-in-1 reflector. On the next video I'm going to talk a little bit about that and kind of how it works. But so this lady's kind of like our guide, but there's supposed to be 4 photographers there, but there was only 3 of us. And so she's kind of showing like, hey, what do you want? What you're looking for in the light? And I just kind of came to practice with the Molus and the 8200, and I wanted to see kind of how they worked. So you'll see some pictures here and there that have the 82-100. This is the Molus right here. Anything that has with her top off is the Molus shot because I wanted to kind of see what it was. And so I just wanted to test kind of how it was in daylight. And so she was trying to give us some tricks. I'm going to kind of go over some of the stuff. So this right here is the flash. You can tell because there's like a harsh shadow on her leg. But she was trying to tell us kind of what we want for the light and how we do the model. And this was a little bit slower than what I'm used to. I'm used to like because I'm a wedding photographer and, event. So I take a lot of shots. And this was shot, these shots were real slow, real methodical, making sure the light works. The model's saying, she can't see what we see, so we have to, reflect back to her and tell her what's, what it looks like, what's going on. And so that's kind of what we're going over right here, right now. And the girl's trying to show us, hey, look, you don't want this light to hit this, and you can kind of see my flash going off right here because I'm just taking some pictures. I'm just trying to get a lot of the shots. So this was taken with the flash, this shot right here that you're looking at. And I like the area. The river was really nice. There wasn't a lot, like the water's really low. You can kind of actually see it. If you look at the grass at the top, that's usually where the water used to be. And it's kind of low here. So anyway, so this event, I'm just going to talk about it. We do every so often people will do like a small event and they'll do boudoir or I don't know where they find a lot of these people at. Okay, this is shot with a Molus. This shot right there, if you looked at it, you can rewind back. But I was trying to see if it would beat the sun with the hair light in the back and the actual like light in the front, and it did pretty good. I gotta give it. This is 4 o'clock during springtime in Texas. Sun's pretty harsh, so it did really well. It did more than I could. The model's eyes were starting to tear up, so you can't do it for very long. This is done with a reflector, so I kind of like it. It's the gold reflector, so it gives it kind of like this orangish look. And so that was really, really cool. I actually thought that was interesting that you don't have to get, and I think there's this guy, George, that I watch from time to time. He has a YouTube. You don't have to have a flash for everything. If you have some really harsh sun that's dropping behind you, a 5-in-1 reflector works perfect. You get a small little tripod and you can get, you can actually get that to work out pretty good with those clamps. We had it handheld, but for the most part, it was with the clamps. So I'm moving my flash around because I kind of want to get different lights. I am scared to put, you can see I moved it. I'm scared to put my flash near water because if it falls or trips or anything. This shot is with the Molus and the softbox that's nearby. Okay, So this right here, we're just practicing because I have maternity shoots sometimes that I do, or I do like a shoot with a dress, and we try to figure out how to do this. And so she was showing us how to flip the dress and the shot would come out. And so what we did was like, okay, the model's just gonna stand first. She's gonna stay in one spot, and then we're going to flip the dress. So this is kind of like the onslaught of like 5 or 6 click 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 click, like 10 shots, and that's the best one. And so she does this a few times for me and the other photographer, and then we do it for her a couple of times. But you can see this guy's flash. That's the other photographer. He has his flash behind, and this is just a sheet. It's just like a I don't know how to describe it. A like something that covers the window or something. It's very thin. It doesn't cover anything. She has to wear underwear behind it. But it was actually pretty cool. It was something new to learn. You can see his flash going off because he's trying to get the shot. I'm not really taking too many shots here. I'm taking like 1 or 2. I have a 7200 4.0. So look, and the guy was asking me, he goes, well, the background's going to be showing. And you can kind of see here where the entire background's kind of showing. But I'd use Luminar AI, and I can blur out the background. I don't know if I show any shots of any of you can even tell here on YouTube, but I had it at 4.0 and I blurred out the background. I don't think that, yeah, no, that one's not it. But anyway, I was trying to show like it's really hard to get this shot. And so I moved the position, I moved around because we were losing the sun. And you can see me, I think, no, that was the other guy. He was trying to move his flash, and what we wanted was like right here, I wanted the Molus, so I put the Molus out really bright, and it didn't do what I wanted to do. It was, I could barely see it. I could see it more on the floor than I could see in her. And so that's where kind of Luminar AI kind of comes in place. If you can light the area, usually it's pretty good. Okay, so this is where me and him were trying to practice. So this dude is practicing first, and he throws it up. And the trick behind this, what the girl was saying, to get like this perfect shot, like this type of thing, is to throw it at ourselves back towards us instead of throwing it at the model. All right, so to pick it up and throw it towards, like, see the two people right there, you're throwing it back towards you, and it should flow pretty good. So he's gonna try to do it. I don't know, I can't remember if her breast comes out on this one, so I'm gonna have to cut right here. But so I'm gonna kind of cut it here. I don't remember. I don't think her breast comes out at all, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But we just kind of learn how to throw this thing. I'm gonna let it kind of play out, but he doesn't throw it well in this, and so the cloth keeps on moving. She has a bunch of clips. And so the model was actually talking about how everything, like certain photographers are different, how people have like certain things. And I'm very much not a, like, I don't care per se that everything's perfect, And somebody did say to me, like, hey, you cut her feet out. But I really did like the way that I positioned it. And there was another thing that we learned. See her hand, how it is? It's kind of one of those things like you want it to be in a direction. And I kind of learned that afterwards. And I kind of did this wing shoot. If you watch one of my other videos where I should have kind of looked at doing something like that where their hands are up or something. Anyway, so that kind of sucked. But I'm going to leave it there. You have a good day, good night. And I'm going to see you on the other side.